How you doing, everyone? This is going to be the 2040 Multitek Firewood Processor. I'm going to show everyone how I ran it so quick at the shootout and how we run it here on the farm. What we got here is a 2040 with a 35-foot elevator, a double tumbler. It separates the debris and the smaller wood, so we don't have to separate it for our restaurants and our bundle wood. It does it for us. And then the bigger wood goes up in the truck. So that's kind of our setup. We load it with a loader. We have a couple separate bins here. One over here for the tip pan. And we throw our chunks out right here. Our smaller chunks are cut off. And then, so there's 3 or 4 different ways you can run this machine faster that I'd like to show everyone. The biggest thing is whoever's running the loader, if they put the logs on correct, you can, instead of pushing your last block in on your tip hand, you use your next log to push it in. So you're always not wasting a motion. So if whoever loads your deck, if they can do it right, it'll help you go faster. And I'll show a little more of that when we get in the cab. The number one thing that makes it go faster, you can use the reverse button to trip your wedge back. So your wedge comes out a full stroke. I think it's like 24 inches, something like that. But you're only splitting 16-inch pieces of wood. So what I do is I let my ram come all the way out to like 18 inches, and then I send it back. So yeah, the block is not fully split yet, but what you're trying to do is return that wedge as soon as you can, so you can drop another piece of wood in there. And you guys will see that in this video, how I run it faster by doing that, and it'll make sense. So we're letting everything warm up right now. Hydraulics are cold. It's pretty cold here. So we'll get started here in about 5-10 minutes. film I just made was not very good, but we don't run pallet logs, we run firewood. And that's kind of what we call firewood. The bigger the log, it's a pallet log, and if you're cutting it up for firewood, you're losing money. I don't care what you're selling it for. There's just so much into it. But our system works pretty good here. We're deciding to put a pad up, like a bunker, silage bunker. It's been in the talk for years, but we haven't did it. The tumbler works really good. It separates our junk. I mean, you get somewhat wood in there, but that's our bundle wood. I think I have that set on 3 or 4 inches. So it separates first the debris, and then it goes and separates the smaller stuff for our bundle wood or our restaurant wood, and then the bigger wood goes up in the truck. So with this here, it does take longer to fill a truck, but we don't have to handle the wood by hand at all. We do sell our sawdust. We roughly get, I think, 10 bucks a yard for our sawdust. We try to use every piece of material here. We have not figured out what to do with the scrap material. Probably burn it in the wood burner to heat the pad eventually. But everything gets used. Everything has a place for it. So that's our 2040 Multitek. We love it, and it does a heck of a job. We just run an 8-way on it, so Multitek.